Hi, Vanessa. Thanks for joining us here at the Cable Show in Boston. Listen, we even stayed at a hotel last night. Everyone stays in a hotel. Everybody watches TV when they're in their hotel rooms at some point. Sometimes that experience is okay, sometimes not so much. What is Enseo doing to help improve that experience?
Well, what we're doing to improve the hotel experience is to make sure that when someone's watching HGTV in a room, number one, that the TV turns on and you know that it's turned on, which is great. You can use one remote to make that happen. And that when you change channels, you know exactly where you are and that you can find the channels that you want without having to fumble around and be lost. Really, all you want to do is watch the news or the sports event, and we make that easy for that to happen.
Well, that's going to certainly be a welcome improvement in experience for the end user. For the hotel, how does it make things easier?
The way that it makes things better for the hotelier is that historically, hoteliers had to choose a vendor, and when they chose their vendor, they had proprietary equipment in the room that they were tied to, and when that equipment didn't work, it was really difficult for them to actually make an improvement and make things work for them. And so now they can choose one set of equipment and put it in their room, and it's infrastructure to them, and then the content providers really become a utility. And so they get to make sure that the product works for them and they get to put their message in their room. Hoteliers aren't really excited about someone else in their room saying, buy a movie, buy a movie. What they want is they want to sell more hotel rooms and they want to make more money on each hotel room. So our product allows them to put their messaging in the room in front of their guests the way that they want to.
So what does this mean? A giant hardware investment on the part of the facilities?
Not at all. In fact, one of the things that's happened recently is the TV vendors have put in a lot of smart TVs, or they're talking about smart TVs, and what we found is that smart TVs really aren't very smart. Because if you invest in a firm piece of technology like a TV, which is a peripheral, you're not investing in the gateway. And so if you invest in a regular TV or a monitor class TV with a set-top box, it's about the same amount of money as if you invest in a full-up, expensive hospitality grade TV. And yet now you get a lot of flexibility and a lot of features that you didn't get otherwise. So really it's a very little hardware investment above and beyond what the normal hotel would put in, but the feature set that it brings to the table is enormous.
So above and beyond just the regular cable programming, there are several features that you're enabling the hotels and facilities to bring to their customers.
From a facilities perspective, the thing that's most important right now is really energy management. And so with our solution, because we have integration with all the TV vendors and with most of the control companies, we know who's in the room and when they're not in their room. And so when someone is checked out of their room, I bet the last time you checked out of your room, maybe you left the air conditioning on a little bit cold, maybe the TV was still on. And so with our product, when you check out, we send a message to our set-top box, our brain that's in the room, and says, hey, there's nobody in this room right now. And so we turn the set point of the thermostat back to a reasonable temperature, turn the TV off, and that really does conserve energy, and energy is the #1 operating cost for hoteliers today.
So what you're really bringing is benefits that extend well beyond the television itself.
Absolutely. The other thing that's happening right now is that when people go into a hotel room, as much as it pains me to admit it, most of the content that comes into a hotel room is being carried in by you. So, you probably have your iPad, you probably have a smartphone, and so you're going to watch when you're in that room is content that you like, either that you carried in with you or that you enable from a cloud-based server. And so what we do is we allow you to watch that cloud-based content or your content that you carry in the hotel room, and to enable that as a business model.
So how are you doing that?
By using some new technology, Wi-Fi Direct, and having wireless access points in the rooms attached to the set-top boxes so that you connect to your own ecosystem in the room as a Pico network. And that works perfectly here in the cable community, because not only does the cable community provide TV, they also provide bandwidth and broadband bandwidth. And so really, if you want to talk about bringing content into the room, they don't care whether you're buying their linear TV services or whether you're just pulling more bandwidth into the room. To the cable market, it's still a great business for them. To the hotelier, they still get to make a market and a business and actually putting their marketing and their messaging in front of their customer. And as a stayer and a guest in a room, for you it's a win, because you get to watch what you want with good connection and good TV service.
And in order to enable that for the guest, a potential revenue generating opportunity for the hotels.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Vanessa, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you for your time.